and a very warm welcome to the News Royal 365 channel. Narcissists shamelessly exaggerate themselves to gain admiration and attention. Of course, Harry and Meghan, the most narcissistic of the narcissists, are no different, as exemplified by their web of lies and exaggeration. This duo makes grand statements about themselves, but always does the opposite. Join us to discuss and analyze them in this video. We can see that Meghan's speeches and interviews expose a propensity for delivering generic and cliched messages and just focusing on herself instead of presenting meaningful insights or remedies. For instance, her association with SmartWorks faces criticism for prioritizing the promotion of her initiatives over effectively addressing the employment needs of women. Similarly, during her appearance at South by Southwest, Meghan's references to her personal experiences, such as encountering criticism for her ambition, are portrayed as societal issues at large, obscuring her grievances as broader concerns. It's no coincidence that Meghan is dubbed Megan. She consistently steers conversations toward herself whenever the opportunity arises. Meghan turned the conversation back to herself as soon as they started talking about online violence. Although she claimed not to use social media, she did relate the story of how she was a victim of cyber violence during her pregnancy with Archie. Similarly to Harry, Meghan often portrays herself as a victim in order to elicit sympathy from others. She was perhaps misguided in believing that presenting herself as bullied during her pregnancy would endear her to the public. It appears she may have overlooked the controversy surrounding allegations of a fake pregnancy. Speaking of this, I'm genuinely perplexed by Meghan's choice to decide to use a moon bump to fake pregnancy. If she did indeed use a surrogate, she could have been forthcoming about it. Meghan always wanted to build the image of humanitarian fighting for women's rights, but she missed an opportunity to change the perception of surrogacy and potentially improve her image. While many assert that there's nothing wrong with surrogacy, the decision to fake it raises questions. It appears that pregnancy holds significant symbolic value for Meghan, serving as both a trophy and material for her narratives. However, it's important to note that Meghan has never been subjected to abuse. Instead, she has been accused of being an abuser, a psychopath, and a narcissist. She tends to deflect blame onto others for actions she herself is guilty of, while Meghan's critics have been openly harassed and mistreated by her sugars. Even Meghan dare to say that it is women who hate women the most. Really? Does she say that when she has the image of a feminist? If you were to ask me which woman harbors the most animosity towards other women, my answer would be Meghan. Isn't she the one who holds the strongest resentment towards her sister-in-law, Catherine, the Princess of Wales? Recall the event where both the Sussex couple and the Prince and Princess of Wales were present. Meghan's apparent disdain for Catherine during the segment with the pregnant princess was palpable. Her jealousy was evident from her expression. This incident coincided with the story about Meghan borrowing Catherine's lip gloss, a move that put her sister-in-law in an uncomfortable position, portraying her as selfish. It was a malicious act towards her sister-in-law, especially considering Catherine's pregnancy and the expectation of privacy surrounding personal matters. Even if Meghan had a genuine need, I also completely agree that Princess Catherine could refuse to share such a personal item. Back to Sussex.com objective review, one can't help but notice its lack of substance and specificity. It's quite empty, devoid of any substantial thoughts or ideas. This isn't surprising given that both Harry and Meghan have repeatedly demonstrated their weaknesses, lacking in abilities and knowledge across various domains. If Meghan indeed lacks understanding of other cultures and empathy for others, then Harry also comes across as immature, akin to a grown-up child. He appears to be uninformed and reliant on others for guidance and support. It's certainly noteworthy that Harry, despite being just a regular person, often assumes a position of moral authority, always dictating what others should do. I recall an instance where he and Meghan established a platform to advise parents who had tragically lost their children to suicide on parenting techniques, and also advised social media companies on child protection measures. However, when asked a question, his response was simply, "I dunno." Given his extensive experience in the public eye, one would expect him to respond more confidently. Yet, he consistently falters and appears foolish. Perhaps only a naive prince with his judgment clouded would choose to marry someone like Meghan. Family and friends had warned Harry that Meghan was not suitable for marriage, but he seemed unable to heed their advice. It's unfortunate when someone refuses to listen, learn, or accept guidance from others. Harry's choice of Meghan, a woman deemed truly unstable, reflects poorly on his judgment. Being royal isn't just about title, it requires dignity and comportment. While everyone deserves respect, those entering into positions of responsibility should be particularly mindful of their behavior. Meghan may lack understanding of the intricacies of royal life, having had limited time to learn and adapt compared to Princess Catherine. However, it's unreasonable for any decent, intelligent, and strong woman to complain about the necessity of learning a national anthem. Leading up to their wedding, there were numerous advertisements for princess classes, how to be a lady, and similar offerings. Interestingly, even Harry's former butler now teaches comparable classes. We know that Queen Mary of Denmark, formerly known as Mary Donaldson, invested in comportment classes as her relationship with Prince Frederick grew serious and may prove to be valuable investments. Meghan could have benefited from similar opportunities as she received ample support offers but rejected them all. For instance, she declined the assistance of the Queen's equerry, Nana Kofi Tumasi Ankara from Ghana, reportedly because he made her uncomfortable. Given these choices, it's not surprising that Meghan's life seems to have taken a downward trajectory. Meghan establishes her image through her frequent self-expression, be it feminist, humanitarian, or something else entirely. But there's a boundary between being genuinely useful and doing good deeds and being pretentious and bragging. The fact that many individuals dislike so-called poisonous feminism is not normal. As a matter of fact, these power and money-hungry feminists look down on and mock women who choose to prioritize raising their children above pursuing a successful profession. Many women despise women who opt to stay at the greasy, greedy pole of business success and focus on raising their children and becoming successful mothers. Women are significantly harsher on other women. Everyone has the freedom to make their own choices. However, Meghan's actions have sparked criticism due to the inconsistency they reveal. It's challenging to trust someone who is deceitful and self-centered. Unfortunately, it seems Harry's wife fails to grasp this crucial aspect. Building trust is paramount, ensuring that each public appearance instills confidence rather than raising questions about ulterior motives. Recall Meghan's discussions about motherhood, however, the Sussex children have never appeared reliably or attended events with their parents. It begs the question, are these children even real, or is it all a fabrication? Furthermore, if the couple truly prioritizes their children's privacy, why do they feel justified in filming other children during their school visits and sharing the footage online? It raises concerns about the rights of these children to privacy and respect. Why does she act completely differently toward the people in her life than she says she wills them to be lifted up? Everyone can now see how black you really are on the inside, Meghan. She truly doesn't care about anyone or anything else as long as she sees and hears herself, me. Miss is evident in all of her remarks about herself. I've never heard a speaker as dull as she is. We don't need someone who doesn't know how to dress to teach us how to dress. Furthermore, our appearance does not necessarily define who we are. Women don't think with a hive mind, and no one didn't vote her as spokesperson. No speaker consistently uses a dictionary incorrectly so frequently that it makes you wish someone could teach her how to use one. It's indeed frustrating to hear Meghan's repeated misuse of words like amazing and astounding when discussing sensitive topics like the situation in Rwanda. Such ignorant and delusional statements regarding genocide are deeply troubling. Did she pay homage to the over 800,000 Rwandans buried there during her visit? Meghan's promotion of the idea that anything done by women, herself in particular, is inherently superior to anything done by men is concerning. She portrays herself as the world's savior, suggesting that humanity's previous accomplishments are insufficient until she intervenes. In fact, it was Harry who described Meghan as a savior and a great humanitarian, not me. Despite this portrayal, Meghan consistently refers to Suits as her show, despite her minor role as a bit player averaging only 1 minute and 28 seconds per episode over 7 or 8 years. She was perceived as the weak link, easily expendable. Prior to her arrival in England to pursue Harry and her ambitions, she had been written out of Suits with no subsequent offers. Her screen presence has been described as unremarkable and forgettable, which explains why much of the world, including Harry, had no prior knowledge of her and had to resort to searching her name online during their engagement. It's undeniable that without Harry, Meghan Markle might not have achieved the level of fame she enjoys today. He played a significant role in her rise to prominence. However, their departure from the royal family and their subsequent criticisms of it have left many feeling disillusioned. It's baffling to witness Meghan refer to herself as the Duchess while harboring disdain for the family that bestowed that title upon her. Many view Meghan Markle as the worst thing to happen to the beloved royal family, citing her lack of class, elegance, and empathy. If I ever met Harry in person, I would urge Harry to publicly apologize to Britain and the royal family for his role in tarnishing their reputation for a woman who may not reciprocate his feelings. It's worth noting that since their union, they haven't achieved much success aside from making themselves deeply unpopular. Since their departure, the Sussex couple has consistently adjusted and changed their strategies. Initially, failing to secure an agreement for part-time royal duties, they opted to leave and openly criticize their family. Leveraging their connections, they secured lucrative contracts by capitalizing on their royal connections. However, as public trust waned, Harry and Meghan adopted a new strategy, maintaining silence while allowing allies and surrogates to speak on their behalf. Figures like Oprah, Scobie, and Boozy, former allies, have attacked the royal family, particularly the Princess of Wales. Yet, not everyone has been fooled by their tactics. Many recognize this as a ploy by the couple to manipulate public opinion. It appears that Harry and Meghan have shifted their strategy. They are now portraying themselves as if they've exited the fray entirely, maintaining silence while engaging in charitable and humanitarian endeavors. However, information still leaks to the media, depicting Meghan's concern for Princess Catherine's health, Harry's purported desire to return to the UK, or Meghan's wish to photograph Archie and Lily. It's evident that these rumors are strategically spread for PR purposes rather than being leaked. The couple seems to be using charity as a shield to deflect criticism, with their website serving as a front for their activities. The lavish praise written about Meghan on her website prompts me to question whether this aligns with the Meghan I'm familiar with. In what capacity is Meghan truly influential? It's challenging to identify any specific causes or initiatives she champions beyond herself. Her attempts to portray herself as brilliant often result in embarrassment, highlighted by her perpetual self-satisfying smirk. It seems she often rides on the coattails of those actually doing the work. Take, for instance, her new brand, American Riviera Orchard. How many accusations of copying have been leveled against it? Meghan is too bad to do something on her own without imitating anyone, and she is also too arrogant to listen to other people's suggestions. This results in everything she does being unappreciated and a failure. It's striking how the topics addressed by Harry's wife seem outdated, reminiscent of the news from the 1960s. Her speeches resemble cotton candy, puffed up and sweet yet lacking substance or depth. It's almost comical to see her pretend to uplift women. After her mistreatment of Princess Catherine and the women working for Buckingham Palace, whom she reportedly bullied, Samantha, her employees, her girlfriends Charlotte, Catherine, and even the Queen, these are women in her life whom she allegedly mistreated, bullied, and betrayed. The Oprah interview on March 7, 2021 remains unforgettable for many, especially the moment when Meghan seemed to take a jab at her sister-in-law, Catherine, referring to her as Kate rather than Duchess Catherine or the Duchess of Cambridge. It could be interpreted as diminishing Catherine's status as William's wife. Additionally, Meghan placed blame on Catherine for not coming to her defense or urging the palace to address the story about the alleged incident involving tears at the flower girl dress fitting. Meghan is no visionary, no feminist, and no advocate. It's all very well to point out social inequities in her opinion, but she never offers any recommendations for how these alleged injustices need to be addressed. She talks for so long about seeing things authentically and organically through different lenses that she forgets what she was trying to express until she feels compelled to curate anything, whatever that even means. Recall that Meghan said that when she wed Harry, she gave up her career. She was written out of the series, not that she gave up on her profession. But Harry, what a dumbass, believes all that nonsense. She didn't give up on her career, in fact. Without the series, she wouldn't have a life in Canada. Before she attached herself to the foolish prince, she had nothing. What career then? The show she was being fired from was one that most people had never heard of. Online, Meghan is primarily criticized for her impersonation. In essence, she is unlikable. Nonetheless, a lot of people find her fascinating and entertaining to watch and talk about because of how outrageous and wild her public acts are. It demonstrates the depths to which our civilization has descended if Meghan is among the most powerful women in the world. It's really gloomy. Becoming a true humanitarian doesn't require a certain social class. It simply demands decency, respect for all individuals, and a willingness to listen and learn. The late Queen exemplified this through her interactions, bringing out the best in those she met. Unfortunately, Meghan appears to lack these qualities. Her claim of having a career is dubious, given her minor role in a cable TV show. It seems she was more focused on finding someone to marry, and after a few failed attempts, she latched onto Harry. Her habit of referring to him as my husband may reflect a narcissistic trait, suggesting a sense of possession. It's evident that Meghan sought to maintain a tight grip on Harry, especially since he was the one who gave her the title for her personal business endeavors. Despite attempts by the late Queen to impose limitations, they ultimately violated the agreement. While Meghan may be portrayed as inspirational, her actions paint a different picture. If inspiration entails lying, alienating family, playing the victim, abandoning friends, bullying others, especially women, constantly interrupting or talking over people, criticizing individuals for financial gain while preventing them from responding and delivering repetitive, cliched speeches at every event, then perhaps the definition of inspiration needs revision in the dictionary. It's lamentable that Meghan squandered the opportunity to become a globally revered figure adored by millions due to her inability to suppress her ego. Her claims of empowering women and championing feminism ring hollow in light of allegations of bullying staff, disparaging her sister-in-law, and even mocking the late Queen. Listening to her convoluted rhetoric is indeed exasperating, as she frequently contradicts herself. It's imperative to halt Meghan's incessant chatter, as it only serves to propagate propaganda. Remember that Meghan acts only in her own best interests. Even this page, complete with her own logo, her pushing him aside certainly astonished Harry. Why does Meghan refer to herself on the website as the Duchess of Sussex? They left everything behind, didn't they? Harry is all that he is, and they are growing financially independent without depending on their royal status. All of their current possessions, it is evident, are still reliant on the royal family. Without Harry's family, they are nothing. About the actress at the bottom of this list, nobody has any information. So how dare they think that without the royal family, they would still be successful? Meghan appears to perceive herself as having earned her position as a royal, elevating herself above others and expecting unanimous agreement. Her speeches often resemble award acceptance speeches or a CEO addressing their employees, presuming that the audience views her as a brilliant, high-achieving figure. However, despite their efforts, Harry and Meghan are no longer part of the royal family, unable to realize their fantasies of royalty. Meghan should have remained in her realm of expertise, acting where pretense reigns supreme, rather than attempting to navigate the complexities of reality. Meghan is quite successful when talking about ambition, but what success has she truly achieved? The crucial aspect lies in the how. How does one achieve ambition? Is it by cutting ties with family members based on their skin color, as she did with her own father and siblings, and then disparaging her husband's family? Such actions cannot be deemed as success. True success is attained through hard work and the achievement of goals earned through dedication. Yet the Harkles persist in presenting vague, salad-like rhetoric on their website, replete with lies and hypocrisy. However, I think they will improve their website a lot because after the Sussex couple was demoted from the official royal family website, Sussex.com is the only place people can find them. That also brings us to the end of this video. My point of view may not be the most perfect, so I hope to welcome your discussions, so don't hesitate to express your perspective. And if you agree with my opinion, please comment okay. If not, please express yours so we can know your opinion. Don't forget to like and share the video. Your support is our motivation. Let's subscribe to receive notifications about the newest videos. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.